On November 14, 2024, a silver Vauxhall Corsa was found abandoned in East London. Inside its boot lay the lifeless body of 24-year-old Harshita Brella. How did a young woman from Delhi end up murdered in London, and where is her husband, the prime suspect? The case of Harshita Brella, a fatal arrangement. Harshita Brella, a 28-year-old woman from Delhi, India, seemed to have a promising life ahead. She married Pankage Lamba in August 2023, and together they embarked on a new journey, moving to the UK in April 2024. The couple settled in Corby, Northamptonshire, hoping for a fresh start. But just months later, tragedy struck. On November 14, 2024, police made a chilling discovery. Harshita's lifeless body was found stuffed inside the boot of a car in Ilford, East London, over 100 miles from her home. The shocking revelation left investigators scrambling for answers. What happened to Harshita Brella, and who was responsible for her gruesome fate? Building the suspense, domestic turmoil. From the outside, Harshita Brella and Pankage Lamba appeared to be a newlywed couple adjusting to life in a new country. But behind closed doors, their marriage was unraveling. In August 2024, Harshita reported incidents of domestic abuse to the authorities. This led to Pankage's arrest on September 3, 2024. Following his arrest, he was released on bail with specific conditions to protect Harshita. Additionally, a Domestic Violence Protection Order, DVPO, was issued, which imposed restrictions on Pankage's contact with Harshita and mandated that he pay £480 in police fees. The DVPO, designed to offer immediate protection, expired 28 days later, leaving Harshita vulnerable. Despite the legal interventions, the cycle of abuse persisted, culminating in her tragic death. Did this legal lapse seal her fate, or was there something even more sinister at play? Day of disappearance. On November 10, 2024, Harshita Brella had her last communication with her family in India. She mentioned that she had prepared dinner and was waiting for her husband, Pankage Lamba, to return home. That evening, around 6:30 p.m., CCTV footage captured the couple walking near the boating lake in Corby. This would be the last public sighting of Harshita alive. In the days leading up to her disappearance, neighbors reported hearing heated arguments and disturbances from their residents. One neighbor recalled overhearing a woman who sounded scared during a particularly intense row. Sounds of banging and furniture being thrown were also noted, indicating escalating tensions within the household. These unsettling events painted a grim picture of the couple's relationship dynamics, raising concerns about Harshita's safety in the days preceding her tragic end. Immigration challenges, personal trauma, and marital strain. Dependence on spousal visa. Harshita Brella's immigration status in the UK was directly linked to her spousal visa, which was contingent on her marriage to Pankage Lamba. This placed her in a vulnerable position, as leaving the marriage could have jeopardized her ability to remain in the country. Many victims of domestic abuse in such circumstances fear seeking legal assistance due to the risk of deportation, making it harder for them to escape dangerous relationships. Isolation. Harshita had recently relocated from India to the UK in April 2024. Being in a new country with no immediate family or strong social circle left her feeling isolated. Reports indicate that she had limited friends and no independent financial stability, making her emotionally and financially reliant on Pankage. Psychologists note that isolation in immigrant relationships can exacerbate stress, intensify dependency, and make it more difficult for victims of domestic abuse to seek help. In Harshita's case, her inability to leave safely may have played a role in the tragic outcome. Personal trauma. In the weeks leading up to her death, Harshita Brella endured significant emotional distress. She suffered a miscarriage, a traumatic event that added strain to her already troubled marriage. This personal loss likely exacerbated existing tensions between her and her husband, Pankage Lamba. Cultural adjustments. Relocating from India to the UK presented Harshita with numerous cultural challenges. Navigating a new environment without a familiar support system can intensify feelings of isolation and stress. When one partner is more acclimated to the new culture than the other, it can lead to imbalances and misunderstandings within the relationship. Such cultural adjustments may have further strained Harshita and Pankage's marriage, contributing to the tragic outcome. theories and speculations. Primary suspect, Pankage Lamba. As the last known person to be with Harshita, Pankage Lamba became the primary suspect in the investigation. Their marriage had been marked by escalating domestic disputes, with Harshita previously reporting physical abuse. Just 2 months before her murder, Pankage was arrested and fined for an assault against her, though he was later released on bail with restrictions. On the night of her disappearance, neighbors reported hearing arguments coming from their residence, indicating a possible confrontation. With Harshita's immigration status tied to their marriage, Pankage may have felt in control of her situation. As investigators dug deeper, all evidence seemed to suggest that Pankage was the last person to see her alive. Actions post-crime. Investigators believe that after Harshita's death, Pankage Lamba transported her body over 100 miles from Corby to Ilford, East London. CCTV footage captured a vehicle matching his car's description near the area where her remains were discovered. He allegedly abandoned the car with her body inside, leaving it parked in a quiet street, hoping it would go unnoticed. In a calculated move, Pankage fled the UK shortly after Harshita's disappearance. Immigration records suggest he boarded a flight back to India, evading immediate arrest. Authorities have since been working with Interpol and Indian officials to track his whereabouts and bring him to justice. Evidence and investigation. Forensic findings. The autopsy report confirmed that Harshita Brella was strangled to death, indicating a violent struggle. Bruising around her neck and defensive wounds on her arms suggested that she had tried to resist her attacker. There were no immediate signs of sexual assault, but forensic experts believe the crime was premeditated rather than impulsive. Crime scene analysis. Harshita's body was discovered in the boot of an abandoned vehicle in Ilford, East London. Authorities noted that the car had been wiped clean, but forensic teams were able to retrieve DNA samples and fingerprints, linking the crime back to someone close to her. Additionally, CCTV footage near the scene captured a male figure matching Pankage Lamba's description, leading investigators to believe he was directly involved in disposing of the body. International manhunt. Authorities have launched an international search for Pankage Lamba, working in collaboration with Interpol and Indian law enforcement. Given his hasty departure from the UK, officials suspect he fled to India to evade prosecution. UK authorities have issued an extradition request, but the process remains complex due to international legal protocols. Immigration and airport records confirm that Pankage boarded a flight to India just hours after Harshita's body was discovered, raising suspicions that his escape was premeditated. The UK's National Crime Agency, NCA, is working alongside Indian police to track his whereabouts, with reports suggesting he may be hiding in Haryana, his home state. Despite ongoing efforts, Pankage remains at large, and authorities urge anyone with information to come forward. His extradition could be a lengthy legal battle, but law enforcement is determined to bring him back to face justice. Unresolved questions and final thoughts. Harshita Brella's tragic death raises chilling questions. Why did Pankage allegedly commit this heinous act? Did he plan his escape beforehand, knowing the consequences? And most importantly, could more have been done to protect Harshita, given the prior reports of abuse? Despite international efforts, Pankage remains missing, leaving Harshita's family and authorities searching for answers. Will justice ever be served? Or will he evade accountability forever? As the community in Corby gathers for a candlelight vigil, they mourn not only Harshita, but the many victims of domestic violence who suffer in silence. What do you think led to the tragic death of Harshita Brella? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, please reach out to local support services. Help is available. Join us next time as we uncover another perplexing case, one that has left authorities searching for answers and a community gripped with fear.